Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful Father's Day today. Wherever you are in this great world, we're going to talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.14. Right now, XRP is fluctuating between $2.12 and $2.18. And this is another great buying opportunity. You know, in a couple of weeks, you're going to be looking back to this time right now and saying, I wish I would have bought more while I had the chance. Because eventually these prices are going to be gone forever. You know, people act like XRP is going to stay under $3 forever. Wait until the breakout begins. And everybody's keeping an eye on the DXY right now as well. People are expecting the DXY to start to drop down once again. If that happens, then we will see another surge upward in the crypto space. I'm talking about every single cryptocurrency will start to move up in price. But you could see the DXY breaking down over time. And people are expecting it to start plummeting at some point. Worldwide money supply is exploding. Don't get distracted. 2025 is the year of crypto. And people are expecting the money supply to also surge with what's going on between Israel and Iran. Everybody's thinking the U.S. will get involved and a lot more money will enter the system. I don't know what's going to happen there, but this shows you how real-world events can play a very big factor on your portfolio. Reminder, the next FOMC meeting is this week as well. Will Powell lower rates? If he lowers rates, that's going to be great. That would get this market moving. The problem I see is this. Trump wants him to lower rates. The Fed doesn't care what Trump says. He's going to do whatever he feels like doing because the Fed answers to the BIS. He doesn't answer to the president. Let's hope Powell decides to lower rates this week. That could get things going. And then there's this. Why I'm bullish on 6/17/2025. 8/14/2024, Franklin Templeton filed spot XRP ETF. 3/11/25, Franklin Templeton filed Form S-1 to launch XRP ETF. 3/19/2025, SEC acknowledged FT filing. 5/3, May 3rd, 45 days review process expired and delayed. 6/17, the final decision day for Franklin Templeton. Now, if that ETF gets approved, that could give us a good look at where XRP is going to go with these ETFs. I'm expecting a wave, a massive wave of institutional money to flow into XRP once these ETFs are passed. XRP to $22. Analyst says $2 region is the next biting nails phase. You know, even in this article, they say, now with the price standing at $2.14, the analyst believes that investors who failed to buy earlier are not the only ones at risk of missing out. His latest comment suggests that today's $2 region will soon be seen as another missed opportunity. He highlighted how many had ignored XRP's potential when it traded below 40 cents, and pointed out that hesitation may repeat itself even as XRP continues its upward trend. Like I said, you're going to look back at this moment right now as a time where you should have bought more XRP, but you didn't. when the price is surging higher and higher in the coming weeks or the coming months. A lot of people still think that this cycle is going to end in July. I see people saying the 4 weeks in July are going to be the greatest 4 weeks of your life as XRP skyrockets in price. I think it's going to drag out a little bit longer. I'm still thinking it's going to go into the end of this year. And that's great if it does, because there's so many catalysts along the way. I would like to see all of those catalysts in place for XRP as we head into alt season, because any price point that people are predicting right now, you could predict so much higher. In other words, people are calling for a $20 to $30 XRP in this run. You start to factor in the case being over, regulatory clarity, ETFs, ISO. All of a sudden, we're looking at a 3-digit XRP. That's the way I look at it, and I'm very optimistic. I think this is setting up for the perfect storm for the price of XRP. Former Ripple director predicts how much valuation Ripple could have if it files for IPO. This comes from Sean McBride. He's speculating that Ripple's recent tender offer indicates that the company is valued at $30 billion. And I would think the same thing. I mean, I showed you a clip just the other day where they were saying that they seen Ripple's balance sheet and it was like $3 billion in cash and billions upon billions in assets. So I would expect Ripple to easily be valued at $30 billion at this point. But there's no sign of Ripple doing an IPO in 2025. I think it's more likely to happen once this case ends, once we get regulatory clarity through laws in the United States. I think then maybe Ripple would think about doing that. But up until now, Brad is in no hurry. They really don't need the money. XRP now gains traction amid regulatory clarity. And I thought this was a great article because this is exactly what I've been telling you for months now. XRP now gains traction amid regulatory clarity as analysts predict shift from Bitcoin to XRP. As the cryptocurrency landscape continues to evolve, XRP, the 6th largest digital asset by market cap, it's actually now number 4, is emerging as a compelling alternative to Bitcoin. And now that we're starting to see the early signs of institutional adoption, I think XRP is easily going to flip Bitcoin's market cap. Think about all that institutional money. Look at how much went into the Bitcoin ETFs. I'm still thinking XRP is going to pull a 4x of what Bitcoin pulled as far as ETFs. But even now that you look past that, you now have companies opening up their own XRP treasuries as well. And I really like the idea of that. I'm looking at that as those liquidity pools that the BIS always talked about. XRP sees users surge with over 9,000 new wallets in 2 days. More and more people are onboarding to XRP. The data by CryptoQuant shows that there were more than 9,000 new XRP addresses on June 11th and June 12th. It is the best 2-day increase on the network in more than a week. June 11th alone saw around 4,500 new addresses created. The following day, another 4,200 were added. These numbers indicate expanding participation across the XRP ecosystem. I think what's going on is this. People know that this is the year to make money if you want to get invested into crypto. I keep telling people, you're no longer going to be tying up your money. If you invest now, you only have to wait maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of months until the breakout begins. but this is going to happen. If you want to make a lot of money, get in now before time runs out. Shift to digital asset technology won't be slow, Franklin Templeton CEO says. So what Jenny Johnson is saying, that we expect our industry will evolve more in the next 5 years than in the last 50. The pressing question is whether financial institutions will choose to embrace the digital asset wave and the disruption coming with it, actively fight it, or bury its head in the sand. Any company out there right now that is lagging behind, not getting involved with crypto as soon as they possibly can, those companies are going to lose out to their competition. They're going to end up being left behind by their competition. Same thing with banks. Jenny Johnson once said, Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that's coming to the financial system. And she's not wrong. Right now, the mainstream media news still wants people focused on Bitcoin. You know, if they started talking about XRP on the mainstream media news, started explaining what XRP is capable of doing, more people would be buying XRP every single day, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You either buy it now or you regret it for the rest of your life. You know, this is going to be the last industrial revolutions in our lifetime, the fourth and fifth industrial revolutions, blockchain and AI. I don't expect anything to happen beyond blockchain and AI for the next 50 years. Quantum computers are going to be a big thing, but it's all coming at the same time. So what's going to happen over the next 50 years? Most likely nothing. We're going to see mass adoption early on with institutional adoption. They're going to open up crypto to the masses. And that is going to happen so quick. People are going to be shocked by it, because there's so many people that get complacent and they always live in denial. Like, oh, this is going to be 10 years out and I cannot sit and wait 10 years for this to happen. But everything is going to happen over a period of time. So as it's happening, XRP is going to be going up in price over that same time period. Even when Brad said that they're going to capture 14% of Swift's business over the next 5 years, it's going to happen over that 5-year span. So XRP over the next 5 years is absolutely going to move up in price. But are you going to wait until year number 5? No, because by then the price of XRP is already going to be above 3 digits. And that's what I see coming. But it's hard to see it when the price of XRP is sitting just above $2. Wait until it starts moving. Everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to want to hold this cryptocurrency, because they're going to have such fear of missing out. They know what it's built to do. They know what it's capable of. And they have excuse after excuse not to buy at this price point, but they will be so eager to buy it when it's sitting at a new all-time high. I don't get it. You always buy the bottom and sell the top. And right now, XRP is still very, very undervalued. You didn't miss out. But if you know anyone that is just getting into crypto, time is running out on these cryptocurrencies. Anybody that wants to make money in 2025, they better buy soon, because it is about to happen. And until it does happen, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.